and it will continue to track to the northeast. So Channel 2 Action News at noon begins right now. Brian Monahan and I are going to continue this coverage through the noon newscast, longer if necessary. Sophia Choi standing by with the news of the day. If this weekends, we'll, of course, get more information on the news of the day. But I want to show you that we're tracking this tornado on the ground, indicated by radar at least, near and just to the north of Barnesville, tracking towards the northeast. So tornado warning in Lamar County, scheduled to expire at 12:30. Brian and I are going to continue covering this storm as long as the threat continues through 12:30, perhaps longer. If it's canceled earlier, we'll make that adjustment if necessary. But nonetheless, we're here watching this very carefully and just getting a National Weather Service that they're saying that they're seeing what I was pointing out to you, is that the rotation with this seems to be tightening up and intensifying here just to the north of Barnesville. So what Brian and I are looking at, and this view shows it very well, the bright red, strong winds away from the radar, the green winds blowing towards the radar. So this is the area where we have some strong shear. We could probably put on the skits and get some shear markers there with this, but nonetheless, near and just to the north of Barnesville, we have a likelihood of some damaging wind gusts and the possibility of some tornado touchdowns. So that's something we'll be watching very carefully. Again, this is moving now at 30 miles an hour. Let's do an updated storm track, Brian, at that 30-mile-an-hour speed as this tracks from this area near Barnesville and moves up towards the northeast. So it's headed generally in the direction of Butts County. Not there yet, but heads up for you. We'll be watching it very carefully. Goggins in about 6 minutes, Johnsonville in 9 minutes now, and it continues, if it holds together, Unionville in about 14 minutes for the potential for some damaging wind gusts there. Farther to the north and west, we've been watching some straight line winds, very strong in Fayette County, just east of Peachtree City. That came through Coweta County, and Brian and I were showing you that a few minutes ago. That extends up to Fairburn. So damaging straight line winds, not out of the question with this, but I did want to take just a moment to give you a heads up here in the southern to southwestern part of the metro area. You're not under a tornado warning, but very strong winds indicated in this area, and this is blowing towards the east, and where we have this bowing here in particular moving towards Fayetteville, ultimately Riverdale and Jonesboro, the potential for some damaging straight line winds as Brian's doing a storm track right there along the leading edge of that. It's headed up towards Riverdale and Jonesboro over the next few minutes, and we'll bring that potential for some damaging wind gusts up towards Fayetteville in 1 minute, Harp in 3, Kenwood in 3, Inman in 8, and Woolsey in about 8 minutes. So let's head back down to Lamar County, where that tornado warning remains in effect, scheduled to expire at 12:30. Let me point this out. From Barnesville, well, let me just say that just south and west of Barnesville, although you're still in the tornado warning, the threat has come to an end for you. It's here from State Highway 36 north and northeast of Barnesville, where the tornado warning is still in effect, where we have that potential for some additional tornado touchdown as it continues to track towards the east. So as I've been saying off and on through the day, and let me remind those of you who are now threatened by this northern and northeastern sections of Lamar County, the safe place to go for you during a tornado is the lowest level of your house, a basement if you have one is best, an interior room, get more walls between you and the outside in the tornado, and then away from windows. So often it's an interior hallway, closet, or bathroom that is windowless will be one of your best choices. So you'll want to do that. Brian's adding some of these smaller towns in Lamar County just to get your bearings. So the rotation here just north of Barnesville, passing near or just to the west of Johnsonville in the next few minutes. Chapel, headed generally in your direction, will pass safely to the east of Orchard Hill. If you're watching around Orchard Hill, certainly rain there, some rumbles of thunder. The threat for tornado touchdowns will stay east of you in Orchard Hill as this continues to track towards the north and east. Severe thunderstorm warning, a new one is issued. Well, that's just down to the south in the Macon area, where down in the middle Georgia, they're dealing with some severe weather today as well. This continues to track towards the north and east. I'm gonna step out and let Brian Monahan give you a little more new information on this storm as it tracks in that direction. Brian?
Yeah, we're watching some of the heaviest rain right now, as you mentioned, Brad, coming across areas around Barnesville, Johnstonville, also around Chapel as well. So those areas in eastern sections of Lamar County, those are the areas that are still under the gun for this severe weather threat. And as Brad mentioned, one thing I do want to point out, this is the same storm Brad and I were with you, say, about 10, 15, 20 minutes or so ago that was moving across Upson County, showed that sign of some lofted debris, some of that low correlation that we see in our radar field that shows where we see where everything in a storm is not exactly the same. So if everything is just rain or everything is just ice in the event of a winter system like we saw a couple of weeks ago, you would see a sea of pink. But where we see these little areas of weakness, these little areas of orange and yellow, that's a sign to us that perhaps there is still a little bit of lofted debris in this system here as this storm here as it makes its way to the north and east, but not as prominent of a debris signature as we were seeing when this storm was back across Upson County. So we do have this tornado warning. This is Lamar County. It's going to go until 12:30 this afternoon. Brad's going ahead and put on our velocity field. This is the mode of Storm Tracker 2 HD radar that shows us the way the precipitation is moving and gives us a sense of that rotation just above the ground. And Brad's drawing on the arrows here. Areas of green, that's blowing back toward the radar. These areas of white, some red mixed in there, those are winds that are moving away from the radar. So we have a broad circulation here, but we don't have a setup here like we talked about earlier on this morning where you have the red and the green touching each other. That's that shear that is more intense, that's more tight, more of a defined circulation, and we're not seeing that right now with this. Perhaps a new area developing here just off to the south of Liberty Hill, so we'll keep an eye on this as this moves north of Johnstonville. Here's Chapel. This is northeast parts of Lamar County where we do have that tornado warning for another 20-25 minutes now as we watch this move eventually towards South Butts County. So south of Jackson, you're not under a warning right now, but this is going to be moving in towards South Butts County over the next few minutes as it moves out of Lamar County and moves across the south part of Butts County. Here's the updated storm track for you. Unionville in 6 minutes, High Falls in 9, Indian Springs coming up in 25 minutes. What we're going to see with this, certainly strong gusty wind, 50, 55, 60 mile per hour wind gusts are possible. We have had some small hail in some of these storms today and very heavy rain. Just seeing incredible amounts of rain across North Georgia as we see these storms move across the area. Here's the updated timeline again, moving into High Falls coming up in 9 minutes. Heavy rain, Patillo, there's Chapel, Unionville, High Falls, Liberty Hill. This is moving in toward your area in the northeast part of Lamar County in just the next couple of minutes. So as Brad has been mentioning since we got on the air for you just before noontime today, now is the time if you're in northeast Lamar County. And I'm going to go ahead and mention Butts County as well. The thunderstorm has not moved into Butts County yet, or at least the core of it. The tornado warning has not extended just yet into Butts County, and it possibly could as we continue to watch this circulation. So if you're in Butts County, and certainly if you're in northeast Lamar County, you need to be taking those tornado precautions right now. Your safe place, every time we get severe weather, every time your town or your neighborhood's under a tornado warning, you know where to go. That lowest level of your home. Basement is best, but an interior room, a closet, a bathroom, a room without windows is your best place to go because you want to protect yourself from the potential of any flying debris. This is a quick moving system, by the way. Here is already the back edge of the rain as this powerful upper level disturbance moves across North Georgia. In fact, back across Alabama, there's sunshine right now. We're going to see some of that later today across North Georgia. But for the time being, heavy rain, Calhoun, Gainesville, Athens, as we go ahead and reset the view for you here. That's heavy rain, no severe weather now on the north side of the metro, but certainly very heavy rain, ponding, puddling on the road, certainly hydroplaning a big concern. And as I mentioned a couple of hours ago, best idea is just keep it at home for another couple of hours. Give it some time, and this is going to move on out, and we're looking at much better weather by mid to late afternoon. But right now, it is stormy coming in through the heart of metro Atlanta now, especially through the south side, Fayette County, Clayton County, watching that intense Boeing line of thunderstorms. No tornado warnings with that, no severe thunderstorm warnings with that, but wind gusts, straight line wind gusts, 40, 45 miles per hour, all possible with this segment of storms here moving just off to the east now of I-85, actually crossing 85. Here's South Fulton County, Fairburn, Riverdale, Jonesboro, Fayetteville. Very heavy rain, wind gusts above 40 miles per hour. And as Brad does a track on this, moving into Jonesboro in 6 minutes, Lake Terra in 7 minutes, Morrow 9 minutes. I know a lot of these neighborhoods, you've already seen some rain. Well, the rain's going to pick up and it's going to become even more intense in these neighborhoods like Sunnyside in 13 minutes and North Clayton in 13 as well. This is all headed toward Henry County. And as we turn on Lightning Tracker 2, no cloud to ground lightning strikes with this, but certainly can be seeing those in cloud flashes. So in cloud flashes, cloud to cloud flashes that are kind of brightening up the sky, could be seeing that. Brad, we'll drop to the south one more time. I want to update you on the tornado warning that has us on the air here as we continue this severe weather coverage on Channel 2 Action News at noon. You can see the heavy rain now falling northeast parts of Lamar County. Here's Barnesville. So that strongest part of this storm has moved now to the northeast of Barnesville. It's getting ready to move out of Lamar County and getting set to move into areas of South Butts County. So here's our reflectivity, or rather here is our velocity field. Green, that is wind coming back toward the radar. Red down here, that's wind going away from the radar, and still getting a little sense of circulation here that's actually pretty tight, so pretty wound up here. That's going to be near English Road. So Brad, if we zoom in just a little bit, show some of the roads here, some of the neighborhoods and places that could be affected by this area right here. So if we do still have potentially...
Hey, Brian.
Yes, go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, we just got some new information from the National Weather Service, and as you were pointing out, the rotation, although still there, much broader, much weaker, and the National Weather Service seeing the same thing, and so they have canceled the tornado warning for Lamar County. So we have no more tornado warnings in our area. We're continuing, of course, with the heavy rain and the lightning.
So we'll zoom out the view here. Again, this is the broad view of the velocity. Now we're back over to the reflectivity. No active tornado warnings right now as you see that drop from the bottom part of your screen, but still a tornado watch. That's in effect for the south side and through our southern tier of counties. We'll show you that in just a second. And here's the broad view, pretty much right on schedule, 12, 1, 2 o'clock, seeing the back edge of this cross through North Georgia. And we're going to see things improve a little bit later on this afternoon. In fact, we have some sunshine later on today before yet another round of severe weather moves on in. Let's take a look at the tornado watch that's in effect, and then I think we'll get ready to begin Channel 2 Action News at noon. The producer in the back, if you want to let us know what we're going to do from here as we kind of wrap up our tornado warning coverage at this point. There is the severe weather watch right now until 3 o'clock this afternoon. So the south side. So we're talking about areas south of I-20 through Griffin, Eatonton, and down toward LaGrange. That's where that the tornado watch will continue until 3 o'clock this afternoon. We've already had scattered severe storms. That will continue for the next few hours. Wind gusts above 50 miles per hour, small hail, and that isolated tornado risk. We're going to take a break right now, and we'll be right back in just a couple of minutes.
Closed caption.